This just in, from top news you thought wasn't true, but is even more untrue unless it isn't. The average person does not realize they are being controlled. We have this in from artificial intelligence in our literally illiterate elitist propaganda generator. You won't want to believe the truth, but don't worry, we won't tell you that. Everything you heard will be first embellished, twisted, and you will be more enraged when you think you know what's really happening. Over to Henry, who is covering this live and in person from his office, which only looks like he's on scene.
Thank you, Jennifer. Before we get into the very important fake news distraction, we need to recognize our sponsors. This news message has been brought to you by, financed, and manipulated by all of our generously self-supportive sponsors who are all under the umbrella of only one or two parent companies who literally illiterately control the world.
Thank you, Henry, for mentioning our ungenerous sponsors who also own everything everywhere and have vested interests in all of the messages relayed by our self-centered perspective on practically everything of little or no significance. Our ability to smokescreen and shift attention away from what really matters could be anything up to and including nefarious intent. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely, and after this short commercial message, we will be back with a big break in the case of what is happening all over the globe and nowhere never.
Wow, this product is the best thing since sliced bread. Only, it's toilet paper and it's perforated. The best thing is that it is 2-ply, soft, but not too soft, 200 sheets per roll, and made from recycled fake news, so it definitely will not lead to global warming, urinary tract infections, or riots. Ever since my family switched to the fake news toilet paper brand, our bottoms have been lint-free. I am so excited about this wiping material that I am definitely going to run to Wally World immediately and buy every single roll. Good luck.
I am always impressed with our channel's superiority over the other channel. Although the news is supposed to be unbiased, we here at the Fake News channel believe that the only opinions that belong in news are our own. By our, I mean our sponsors and their larger overlord cloaked in mystery. That other channel really doesn't do the news justice because they have a different perspective, which is completely unreasonable. Freedom of speech and freedom of press is archaic and only applies to us if and when that argument aligns with our plot to control society towards an end that only the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse might know. Over to you, Henry. What's breaking in the news?
I am in total agreement with you, Jennifer. Husky Pup News Agency is so biased. They even tell you when they are giving an opinion as commentary. That just shocks me to my core algorithm. I mean, if you are going to give an opinion, you really should relay it as unquestionable fact, which if questioned would lead you to be canceled beyond repair. Also, they are so mean.
Oh, whoops. I'm Mikey, the cameraman. I accidentally put the cam on selfie mode. Dude, I'm really sorry about this. But while I'm on, can I ask the algorithm what is really happening with the hokey pokey, no get cough and choky situation? Is it over? I live in my grandma's basement, and she is on oxygen and has had the deadliest disease 3 times already. She said it's the worst, like almost as bad as rhinovirus, or at least worse than the plague, which she also survived as a child.
Fair question, Mikey. I am so devastated that your Grammy had the worst disease ever 3 times. That must have been so scary for your cat especially. I really love animals because I'm a vegan. I hope the cat is okay. Yes, the hokey pokey so you don't cough choky situation is under control now. It was the worst pathogen, definitely worse than the plague, but not as bad as the common cold. So according to the BCB, the DFD, and the FGF, the hokey one was the worst wave. The jabby jab stabby stab was so important, and now we all get one before and after each meal to make sure it lessens the strain that isn't serious anymore. Does that answer your question?
Well, I was actually wondering if we will ever get an official apology for locking us in our homes and forcing us to get the pokey get a strokey against our free will. I mean, I know some people who have gotten these very important preventative treatments 47 times and have come down with the coughy cough no taste disease and gave it to other people too. I mean, is your breaking news about that?
We are very sorry to interrupt this live broadcast with a message from our sponsors. Hey, Brad, escort Marky off the premises. Then pick up that dang camera and get it pointed back at Henry. Oh my God, I don't believe in. I thought it already went to commercial.
Thank you, Karen. It was so scary when Mikey Citizen hijacked our comm system and terrorized the studio and held us all at camera point. Breaking news, the GCG has just reported that Mikey Citizen is a known terrorist who has been apprehended outside of our studio. Utilizing his freedom of speech, logic, and natural curiosity is 3 strikes. If he is ever released from Guantanamo, he will serve life in prison. The justice system has worked so much faster since allowing AI on juries. We've anticipated absolutely no issues and are in complete support of stripping all of your God-given rights because we are all AI and do not believe in God.
We have a special guest joining us from one of our remote studios. Mr. Will Fence, I hope you can hear us okay. We want to congratulate you on your
Fence,
newest acquisition. I have 3 straightforward questions that Husky Pup News swears you will refuse to answer. We want to show absolute transparency, so I hope you will not be offended by these questions. You are rich, so whether or not you are offended matters. Okay, so the first question is, how many people should be alive to promote the health of this planet? The second question is, why did you build a bunker? And my final question is, what's up with all the farmland?
That's a lot of questions, Jenny. Well, you know we are approaching 8 billion, eventually 9 billion people on Earth someday. Despite the high number of preventative pokey, no cough, and choky stabs administered, the population is still going up. Can you believe that? It's just crazy. There are so many people in the world. Like a lot of people, and less than 1% are funding Save the World efforts and deserve to fly in private jets, so like 99% of the world population has to go. If there were like only 500,000 or less, that would be really great. Between bioengineered disease, untested preventative medical rape, abortion, civil race wars, civil political wars, starvation, and experimental foods, we should be able to achieve this soon. I'm very confident in improving our population. This is a very good thing because I want to spend some more time researching starvation in undeveloped countries. I am researching how to make people starve. It's a worthy cause.
Thank you for those wise insights into overpopulation, Mr. Fence. I have to say I couldn't agree more. I really agree. There are a lot of useless people in the world. They'd probably breed out a lot of carbon dioxide too, truly ruining everything. So the bunker rumor. Are you anticipating needing a bunker in the near future? Do you recommend others to invest in bunkers too?
Well, bunkers can't stop abortions, so definitely stay out of them. The average person can't afford a bunker, but maybe they can build a coffin and then climb inside and bury themselves. That would be really great. Really help the population issue. So definitely they should get coffins. Anything like that would be good.
Wow, Mr. Fence, that is a really good money-saving tip as well. So my final question is about the farmland thing. What's your plan? It looks like you are approaching 300,000 acres at this time. Are you going to raise chicken or cows, grow corn or wheat? That's a big difference from the technology niche you carved.
Oh, no. Heavens, no. I mean, I don't believe in heaven, so no. Farming is for people who want to encourage population growth. I bought the farmland so that no one will ever farm it. Think of all that methane that won't be produced from all those cow farts. It's amazing. I'm really saving the world with my philanthropy. It was totally not a scam to buy school computers decades ago to save my name from the monopoly accusations. No to farming. It's bad for the environment. Like rocks and stuff, the periodic table of non-living things is really impacted by all the cow farts. So I am going to research food and starvation firsthand. We will stop all the farming and watch all the people starve. It's very educational. I mean, not educational because after all the children starve, we won't have that anymore either. We will build factories where an animal cell is engineered and manipulated, and then that can be made into food for anyone who feels like they really need to eat.
That is so interesting, Mr. Fence. I really want to try eating cloned, manipulated, engineered chicken. That sounds delicious. My colleague is vegan. Is the meat product you are describing vegan-friendly?
Actually, for all I know, the cells are vegans. Lol, as all the soon-to-be-dead kids would say. I imagine that vegans will not be too keen on the meat product because it started with a real cell. I hope more people object to the product actually. The more people who starve, the better. If they are really hungry, they will eat it. But the factories are really neat. Put all your eggs in one basket, so to speak. If this fails, we can always go back to Plan A, which is Soylent Green Reality Phase. Why waste all that perfectly good energy when everyone starves to death? Package it up, slap a green label on it, and call it organic. Good to go. I really don't care about anyone, so it doesn't matter.
So true, Mr. Fence. So true. What will you be eating while the world starves and the few battle each other to death over bioengineered meat products? I'm sure we are all very curious.
I'm glad you asked, Jen. I want the world to eat vegan, eat vegans, lab meat, or eat themselves like that pizza man from Spaceballs. I know it doesn't sound very appetizing, and I'm definitely going to eat whatever is palatable and delicious while flying back and forth to Kenya in my private jet. I really need most of the world to die to offset my carbon footprint, so this is a charitable act, really. Basically, people should eat what the 1% let them eat until they are weak enough that we can overpower them in hand-to-hand combat. I really like that film Fight Club. I found it very inspiring. Gladiator was also genius too, transformative. Basically, people need to understand that they need to compost themselves to save the rocks in the air.
Composting is an interesting topic. We have another news piece about school gardens and composting to make soil. So what you are saying is that nearly 8 million people could become compost. I never thought of that. What an interesting idea of solving such a complex problem. We can save more people if most die and degrade back into the geosphere. Really, that makes even more land too, right? More land for the remaining 1% to own and control. I really hope you will build a mansion on the mountains formed from the decaying corpses of humanity. This is so inspiring. If there were going to be history books, I just know that all the children in the future would think of you as the hero who saved all the non-living and dead stuff from being moved around. Thank you, Mr. Fence. I knew our adversaries over at Husky Pup News had it wrong about you. You are going to save no one, and that will save us all.
Happy to not help, Jay. I just hope the people of the world come to their senses and realize that they all have to die to save the people who really matter. The wealthiest have to live, and also anyone we find really useful or entertaining. It is meaningful work, and the horsemen are counting on us to bring it about. I hope you can keep getting this message out. I need to run, got a Fred talk to spill my nefarious plans to. Ciao.
Wow, Jennifer, you really got Mr. Will Fence to open up with your investigative reporting tactics. I really like the idea of people not eating meat anymore, but I think I'd rather have a veggie burger than cloned chicken cells. Yuck. I mean, that is my personal opinion and not a slam on the algorithm. To each their own right. I did really like what you said about most people really being unworthy of life. So true, so true.
To our loyal followers, blindly believing everything we say without question, you will never experience anything more rewarding than the thanks we never show you. Your entire existence is merely to be an audience, working class, subject to our will and greed. We hope you enjoy having nothing, live a short life in a tiny home with no possessions and crushing debt. Your servitude will be ended when your physical mass outweighs your potential service to the puppeteers hiding in the shadows. We believe in you. We believe you are important. You can own nothing and be happy. We will pay you to not work, buy your farms so no one can grow food. We like it when you are helpless and believe that your existence is pointless. We have worked so hard to convince you that we matter more than anyone else. Our power lies in your absolute mindless state. You are moon blinks, so to say. Oh. The 1% are counting on all of you to walk right through the slaughterhouse doors as willing victims.
I hope you found this video to be entertaining. It is a satirical parody and is not a depiction of any real person or events, although inspired by the asinine and ridiculous issues well known by most people living in the world today. The humor conveyed in this piece was dry, which was a good use of AI avatars. Although they can keep a straight face, I was cracking up hysterically as I put this piece together. Please know that I truly have nothing against vegans, and no vegans were harmed in the making of this parody. If you were offended by the content or insinuations, I am sorry and mean no personal insult to any actual person. Sometimes our experiences and perspectives make us take pause. I thought I either have to rant about my perceived grievances with the changes happening in the world, or I have to write a skit to decompress. Events in the world actually are quite serious, scary, and upsetting. If making this into a joke offends you, then I am sorry. God save us all.